Listen, I'm so excited to have you. Doug, everyone knows your story, so we're going to ignore you for the first 15 minutes.
Well, I have to say, it's a real pleasure to meet you in person because
look at this.
I'm putting the face with the tweet.
Thank you.
You guys have not met in person?
No.
Okay.
And, what were you thinking?
With what? The two of you
Why
together?
would you pair me with the most famous person on Twitter?
Keeping you on your toes.
Listen, we're going to make you look good.
Yeah, keeping
That's
you on
why.
your toes. This is going to be a clinic for you. You're gonna learn something.
But we know that you're the OG of Twitter.
OG, but emphasis on the O.
Look, I'm following in the shadows of giants here.
Yeah, well, nobody even remembers me anymore. All right, so we're so excited to have you here, Jen. Jen, when did you and I first become friendly? Probably 10 years ago?
I have a
Not
picture.
to age either of us, but
we met over a decade ago.
okay.
Yeah.
And we've been cracking each other up ever since.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. You're one of my favorite people in finance. I know
You too.
I know you know that.
You too.
Let's get your formal title established. You are the assistant managing editor.
U.S. Assistant Managing Editor of the Financial Times.
I already screwed it up. U.S. Assistant Managing Editor of the Financial Times, and you've been at Financial Times 3 years.
2.5
years?
2.5, yeah.
Just before the pandemic.
Just before the pandemic.
And then they were like, welcome to the FT, please go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. But still, you got the gig.
I did.
Okay. So what do you spend most of the time doing these days?
So
I know you're a reporter.
right.
I know you've been an editor, but
Right.
what's your deal now?
a lot of it is U.S. growth strategy. We do a lot of hiring and also audience engagement.
Okay. So the audience pretty much right now is engaged in Omicron around the clock. If that's what's going on.
It's Omicron. Our top 3 stories is Omicron.
Okay. Are any of those good stories? I'm just asking. I'm assuming no. I'm just asking. Nothing
You
good
ask really good questions.
nothing good is going on there. But okay. But that's what people are trying to figure out.
It's actually been our COVID tracker has been one of the most popular.
Okay.
So that just speaks to what people are engaged in.
What's the COVID tracker?
We track COVID cases around the world.
Okay. So data.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the stories are like the pill is coming. Maybe get a booster. Right.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Listen.
And also, one of our stories is about what do you do about hybrid working in 2022?
What do you do?
I think we're going to continue with the hybrid.
I don't see any way around it.
Yeah.
So we're okay with that. I shut off the part of my brain that's telling me that we're ever going to be 5 days a week. I don't think anyone's thinking that way.
Yeah.
And I think on balance, it's a win for like 99% of people. So we don't like the reason we got it.
Yeah.
But we're not giving it back.
But don't you feel more productive?
I've always been very productive.
Yeah.
But I can see how a lot of people might feel more productive.
Mm-hmm.
But I could also see the other side of that.
Same.
I could see people that want to get away with things.
I find myself more productive like in my life because I can just like run out and crush an errand in between like the 30 activities I have to do.
You also have
during a
very
day.
young kids.
That's it.
And
I mean, that's
everybody in your boat is
it's a big
this
win.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Like stay
You just gotta
safe.
but you got to filter it. If you're young and irresponsible and like new, I feel like we talked about this,
Yeah, we
right?
did.
You got to have someone look over you. But if you're like got little kids or close to retirement age, like work from home. Like
I'm looking at the COVID tracker thing from FT, and not to minimize the situation, but like this is way less than I would have thought. So Michigan, for example, which is like the worst state in the country, has over the last 7 days 1.17 deaths per 100,000 people.
You would have thought what?
More
5?
One death? Wait,
Yeah.
could that be right? One death?
yeah,
It's early.
Yeah, it's early.
It's early. We know what these waves like ultimately
Yeah.
can do.
I mean, I've been getting PTSD of March 2020.
Why
Right
does
now.
this remind me more of March 2020 than it reminds me of the Delta variant in July?
season. It's cold.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's.
I think Broadway shutting down and sporting events being canceled
Yeah.
is the reason I feel that way.
Yeah. And also people have been talking about baking banana bread.
Again, we're gonna do that shit all over again.
My
Yeah.
wife's ready to go.
Does anybody want? Really?
She's ready to bake. I mean, she bakes. She bakes all the. She's not happy she's doing it. I think she said, look on the bright side. I guess I get to bake stuff again.
On the bright side, the apron's coming back out.
Yeah, that's a big win for me.
All right, so I wanted to start the show not with gloom and doom, but
Too late.
I wanted to talk about the favorite stories of this year, or everyone's favorite moment of this year. Jen, what's yours?
Bears have gotten this market wrong.
Well, stay tuned. But okay,
Well,
so far.
you're talking about 2021.
Yeah, so
The
far.
stock market's at record highs, home prices all-time highs, wages all-time highs, and
Fed.
Yeah, yeah.
But still, you're right.
But to summarize, the just how on fire markets have been is you look at the junk bond market.
yeah.
I think I brought a couple of slides with me.
Yeah, we have that. Do we have that stuff, John?
So I chose the riskiest part of the credit markets, and junk bonds have really been a huge shocker for many. I went to an investor day at an asset management firm, and they just talked about how they just cannot believe what has happened to junk bonds.
Yeah.
And you can see,
Look at this.
the 1 year look back using daily data in the first chart. And then the second is the 5-year perspective on the Bloomberg US High Yield Corporate Index.
What are these rates?
Yield.
So it's interesting. I mean, it is turning up now, but it just spent so much time being suppressed.
Right.
But Josh, look, this is like a 5-year chart.
Yeah.
And it's lower than it ever was.
Yeah. And also Fitch. So I have to update this because, the last 48 hours have been wild. Fitch expects the high yield default rate to come in at just 1%.
It's wild.
By the end of 2022.
I would take the over on 1%, but I would have taken it this year too, and I think I would have been wrong. And that's shocking.
Yeah.
So yields are not very much better than what you're getting on investment grade credit, what you're getting in the muni bond market.
Right.
There's I can't understand who is allocating to this asset class right now, other than if it's just part of an allocation and they're not even thinking about it.
Right.
That's it. It has to be.
That has to be the answer, right?
Rules driven. It's there.
Because they're not getting paid for the extra LOL risk that
Right.
ordinarily they'd be getting.
These are obviously insensitive buyers, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be buying.
Well, it also
There's no risk
it
anymore.
also reflects the scramble for yield. People are starved for yield.
I'm so hungry.
and they will literally do anything. All right, what's your other favorite moment? Oh, we got to go here.
So some of you have not watched Sex and the City.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Oh God,
we know
then
about
I can't.
we know about the Peloton thing.
Well, yeah, it's big. I mean, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that actually is a Wall Street story. See, did you watch it?
I've seen the first, because of my wife, I've seen the first
See?
episode. And
As my wife, stop that shit. I willingly watch Sex and the City every episode.
watched the first one, and then I'm like, I'm done here, because I actually don't like the series. You can hate me for it. And then
Okay.
I watched her see some of the second episode. That's where I'm at.
Wait, do any of them have grandkids in this season?
No.
It's very unrealistic,
no.
isn't it?
Why? How old is SJP? 55?
Pushing 60 in this, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, she can't be 55. I mean, I guess she could. I don't really know. It's a good question. I would have assumed they would have gotten there at this point.
They literally started this show by killing someone in this envriment. Can we have an upbeat?
He hasn't watched it.
No, I know.
Oh,
I know
you do?
about
Oh,
this.
okay.
She knows.
Okay.
Scared the crap out of you.
Chris Noth should have seen that script and said no.
No, yeah.
And then probably a lot of things would have been better in his
It's
life.
but I think it's so tone deaf.
Yeah.
The way they started this thing. It's such a big thing, and it was the biggest bummer.
Well,
Biggest
I
bummer.
would disagree.
It's okay.
with
That's my
that.
opinion.
You love it.
No, because I don't love it. What I'm saying is they made. I guess you guys don't know what's going on with Chris Noth.
All right, you could ruin it. I don't think there's a lot of
I'm not-
overlap.
No. She means in real life.
in real life.
The scandal.
Now I do realize that.
That's
I
an
do realize
bummer
So
on
what
that
I'm
top of it.
saying is, if you connect the dots, it was good that they killed his character.
because it led to a lot of media coverage.
What scandal?
You don't even know.
It's so not what we're gonna do today.
Two accusers.
Yeah, we're so not going there. All right, I actually wanted to ask you about this U.S. corporate pension plan thing. So that plays into what's going on with junk bonds. How active is the readership for fixed income in general at the FT? Is there
It's
anything?
huge. It's huge. I
Okay.
mean, you have CEOs, CFOs. It's a
But
lot
doesn't
of.
it seem like all one trade, more so than the stock market?
What do you mean?
This is from the outside looking in. I feel like over the last year, on any given day, you looked at the stock market and you read content related to the stock market, maybe at the Financial Times, and there's like different things happening in different sectors. Some stocks going up, some stocks going down. The bond market to me looks like a school of fish, and the entire thing is just moving in one direction based on whatever came out of a Fed speaker on any given day. Do I have that wrong? Is there more dispersion in the bond market than it appears from the outside?
I think so. If you're over a certain age, you have to be allocated to fixed
sure.
income, right?
As we are.
And a lot of our readers are much older, white male. Why are you laughing?
And
I'll tell you why.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know what. I was just reminded of the fact that I used to read the Financial Times on the newspaper as like a 24-year-old going to sell life insurance. And
Looking smart.
you had a lot to say about bonds.
I swear to God, the paper was like, is it still pink? It was like physically pink.
Yeah, it's still pink.
That's how you know.
Oh my God.
That's how you know.
Wait.
If you were reading the journal, I gave you props. But if you had the pink, you were taking it seriously.
It's salmon.
No, yeah, it's salmon. So
Yeah,
I used to read
pink
the Wall.
salmon.
I used to read the
Salmon.
Wall Street Journal, and then when I signed up for the CFA level 1, I
Yeah.
switched to the Times.
Yeah,
But it's just funny. It was. I had no idea what I was reading, but I was physically.
I
reading
felt
it.
like I was getting flexed on in the subway when someone had the Financial Times
Yeah,
and I was
totally.
reading the Wall Street
Wait, you're
Journal.
Totally.
you're a Simpsons junkie, right?
Yeah.
What's the joke where they fly first class and Marge picks up The Economist and she's reading it and she's like, "Did you know that they're at a turning point in Myanmar?" And Homer goes, "They are?"
I love how Jen goes, "What are you laughing at?" Because I was literally just thinking
No,
about
because
how.
you were
but no,
like
I can't.
laughing when I was talking about bonds.
Oh, when
and
you
I'm
say
like,
it.
oh my God, what did I say that?
Nothing. I was thinking in my head of the image of my moronic self reading the Financial Times is funny. Anyway,
No,
yeah,
as
yeah.
a 24
It was Homer reading it on a plane to Miami Beach and asked Marge if she knew that Indonesia was at a crossroads after reading the magazine.
A crossroads, right?
New challenges for Indonesia. Special report on the Ural Mountains.
Right. Oh, and she's like, "It is?" And he goes, "Yes."
That's it.
All right. So U.S. China scoops. Are you guys covering China? I don't want to say more aggressively, but in a very different way than U.S. based financial media. Like, are you
So
guys,
we have this rock star, Dmitry Sevastopolou.
okay? You did that well.
Oh, did I?
I was going to correct you if you got it wrong, but you didn't.
And he's just been breaking stories in his dreams.
Okay.
The U.S.-China relationship is very important.
it's tenuous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at a crossroads.
Yeah.
You can almost say.
Did you know?
Did you know that?
But he's been out there talking about what's been happening with trade and just
Are people paying more or less attention to that kind of thing than usual right now?
again.
Since Trump left, is the China trade thing like as big a deal for U.S. readers?
What's a big deal is the Omicron and COVID and what's going to happen when we all go back or we don't go back. And, a lot of companies are really grappling with this.
Right.
How do you keep your employees engaged? And I know that you said that you folks talked about this ad nauseum, but it's real. How do you keep your young employees engaged? Mentorship programs.
Yeah.
Sponsorships.
If you're a subscriber to the FT, you're probably an executive, right? Like
Yeah.
for the most part,
Or a
Yeah.
24-year-old.
or 24-year-old
Selling
selling like
insurance.
Well,
selling
my
insurance.
question to you
One or
is
the
how
other.
much? How did you pay for it? No, I mean, it's.
If you have to
It was-
ask how much, you
Listen,
can't afford
It
it.
was in my budget.
Here's some odd jobs.
No, I was a great saver. I was a great saver as a child.
All right, your big story this week is credits other than Omicron. Credit Suisse seeks access to personal staff mobiles.
Yeah.
They kind of have to. If you're using a mobile phone to text with a client, you kind of can't do that. JP Morgan just got a $200 million fine for that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
JPEG Morgan.
JPEG Morgan. So this is like this is like going to be the next thing.
This was our best read company story of the week.
Right.
Yeah.
It's horrifying when you think about it. Like my employer is going to have access to what? My searches on my mobile phone, my emails.
Their personal phone or their work phone?
But that's the thing.
Get a work phone. Two phone life.
Nobody's doing that, though.
That's horrible.
It is absolutely horrible. But as someone who thinks it's absolutely horrible, I would demand a second work. I would demand a second work phone. I would probably not work there.
So we have that same compliance challenge. I have 40 something people.
I get it.
We did ring.com.
Stop reading my text.
What? I'm not. Believe me. I'm not
there's
reading my own
for
text.
us. There's no good solution at all. You can't seamlessly integrate personal and business contacts and text to and fro.
I'm not doing a commercial here, but ring.com would enable Credit Suisse in this example.
No, Ring Central.
What is it?
Ring Central.
Ring.com, something else?
Ring Central.
Ring is the Ring, the Amazon
You can
Ring.
see how engaged I am with the IT budget. Ring Central allows for our employees to text clients, but it's not from their real phone number. It's from an assigned phone number by Ring Central. So clients want text messages.
Yeah, it's through an app.
It's through an app.
Yeah.
It's not
You
through
just
their
load up
regular
the
SMS
numbers.
text. So I feel like that's pretty obvious that that's the solution to that.
Does it allow for emojis?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's just, but it's the same thing for the Zooms, like no personal Zoom.
Of course.
So everything gets done that way.
Can I share my moment of the year? It's not really a moment. It's just more of like a observation.
Please.
So this was the highest inflationary year since the 1970s. And I guess the trade would have been short bonds, long gold, right?
Yeah.
Like the traditional macro trade for this type of
Yeah.
environment. And bonds didn't do so well this year. Nominal returns were like negative 1.5% for like a total index. Obviously, real returns were much worse. But gold did even worse. Gold is down 6.5% on the year.
You did better in cash than gold in the worst
Same
inflationary
thing.
environment.
Same thing. You might as well have been in
Yeah.
cash. Unbelievable.
Wait, what was gold total return?
Negative
this year?
6.5%.
Who wants gold?
That's disgusting.
My mom.
Because what do you tell people
That's telling.
that let's say in the beginning of 2021 you said this is going to be a big inflation year
Because of all the money printing.
all the
Because of
reasons.
whatever, yeah.
Supply constraints, money printing, oil, all the reasons, and then you gave somebody like a 5 or 10% allocation to gold because you're a genius, and now you're talking to them in December and it's like, well, I got half right.
Hey,
It is the worst inflationary year since the 70s,
Yeah.
but then what did I get wrong?
You give them the textbook that you read that out of and said, see, look, it says right here. in
Yeah, it
this
says this
textbook.
was supposed to work. Everybody said on Twitter that it would work.
Everybody knows this.
Yeah. I'm not taking a victory lap dunking on gold because it'll probably go up 50% next year. But I have never believed in this fairy tale.
No. And
I've never seen data to support it.
do you think decentralization is impacting that play at all or no?
Yes, Doug's NFTs disrupted the gold market. We all agree on that. Who put this in Investopedia Terms of the Year? I love this.
Oh, I did. Caleb just sent it to me. And I'm wearing an Investopedia sweatshirt.
Okay,
Can I just say one thing
course.
about gold?
please.
So my mother gifts my brother, sister, and I gold every year.
Jewelry?
Physical gold?
No,
ETFs?
Physical gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Bricks.
what do we do with it, Doug?
What do you do with that gold?
Sell it and buy
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, melt it down and
Wait, what? No.
exchange
In what
it for
form she
some
gives you
crypto.
gold coins?
Yeah.
Okay. Like mails them? How do you get them?
Well, that's why I'm going to Hawaii in
going to-
2
okay,
weeks for
got it.
Christmas.
Grab the gold.
Don't tell people when your return flight
If
is.
you see her, she's got gold.
Okay.
So
What do you do with it?
yeah.
It's a
Wait
keepsake.
for it to turn around.
I'm told it's a good conductor of electricity.
Just because it didn't work this year doesn't mean it won't work next
Right.
year. We have no idea.
Right, but it didn't work in 2020, right?
Oh no, it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked since 2011, quite frankly. But
As part of a properly
it's
diversified
like,
portfolio.
But it's like the Knicks. It's due. It's due.
Yeah.
It had one good
Yeah.
year.
It had one good year.
I feel like in
the last 10.
2018 it was up like 30 or 40%.
All right.
19, whatever. Anyway,
Investopedia Terms of the Year. So these are the things that people looked at the most. Is that
so these are the top 10.
all right? Let's go through these. See if any of these are shocking. Capital gains tax. That's hilarious.
number
The
one.
number one most searched for term on Investopedia this year.
There's gains out there.
Number 2 is better.
Fiat money is even more hilarious. That's almost all people that are getting their information from Twitter. Do we agree on that?
You know, yeah, because I bet people are like, wait, what the hell is? Why do people keep saying fiat? Like
Fiat,
nobody
yeah,
knows
yeah.
what fiat is unless you're on Twitter.
2 years ago, I had no idea.
Yeah, why would you? What the hell's fiat?
But if you're over 70 and you were around for like Nixon taking us off the gold standard,
You probably know what fiat
then
is.
you probably know what that term means. Most people think it's a car. Inflation, I would have guessed that would be number one.
Yeah.
HODL, that seems like played out like a holdover from 2020, but whatever. Child tax credit on Investopedia. That's cool.
Young demographic and changes in the law.
Yeah, that's young men and women who like this now applies to.
Great demo for Investopedia.
ESG, less said about that, the better. Dogecoin, okay, that's embarrassing for us,
A little bit.
for America.
Guys, you're not going to tip your waiter with Dogecoin. I hope you all make money with your Dogecoin, but no.
NFTs, fine, obviously. Short interest, that's got to be from January, February.
I saw a tweet that Melania is making fungible NFTs, or was that a joke?
Melania?
You know what I call
Yeah,
that?
centralized. And it's called a grift.
That's another IQ test. Let's see how many people fail that IQ test.
Yeah, it's just not hiding it anymore.
Guys, short interest was from January of 2021.
GameStop,
which is
that's
during
GameStop, right?
Yeah.
Hold on 1 sec. Sprinkles, you know I'm taping a podcast right now, right? Okay. All right.
Conservativeship. That's a
Wait, so
Britney
short
Spears.
interest was from GameStop. What's conservatorship?
Britney Spears,
Yeah.
Oh, June 2021.
right? Yeah, that's when the
That's
whole Free
interesting.
Britney
That
movement,
doesn't belong on Investopedia. What does that have to do with investing?
her access to her money.
Oh, I guess so. Okay, that's really cool. What's not on here that should be on here? No Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's Boomer
No,
coin.
no
now.
Ethereum.
No
ETH.
Ethereum. I wonder if
No
those-
web.
Blockchain.
No
Web
Gap,
3.
Web3. I think that's too late in the year.
Okay.
Like that'll be next
Web
year.
3 will be next year.
Yeah, 100%.
Yo, no SPAC.
It's done.
It's done. It's so cooked.
No GameStop. Well, why would that be?
Done. It's not
Investopedia?
done as
It's not
well.
a term, is it?
Stonks done.
Meme stock.
Meme stocks.
Just meme. Yeah.
I hated the stunk meme. The
Meme
stunk.
stocks is
I
not
like
meme
stock
stocks is
guy.
not on there.
Guy.
What else is missing?
Federal Reserve.
No Fed.
Doug
That's
Boneparth.
That's interesting. Everyone knows what the Fed is basically just a conspiracy at this point.
All right, where are we going next?
All right. The Great Resignation. So, all right, let's go through this. The U.S. is on track to have 46 million job quits in 2021, meaning over 1/4 of the workforce left the job. Can that be right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the actual number?
Yeah.
All right, think about the people you know. 1 out of 4 of them quit their job this year.
I know 6
Yeah.
people.
But you know probably 200 people.
What about
Would you guess 50 of them
out of your
left the job?
clients? Would you know?
I wouldn't know.
Like, I guess the advisors would know.
Yeah,
like,
the
I'm
ad-
trying to think of it through my base,
Well,
right?
I can't picture that 1 in 4 people left the job. I believe it.
Out of the households I serve, 1 in 4 definitely did not
Yeah.
flip their
and
job.
during COVID.
Well, wait a minute, because think
Some of
about
these
think
could
about
be
the people.
retiring people,
This sounds elitist, but like the people that are leaving, the 1 in 4 people are probably lower wage people, which is
Good point.
which is great.
So I'm skewed to the higher
Doug
earner,
doesn't
white collar.
speak to those people at all.
No, he's
No.
allergic to them.
Right.
Hey,
He hates them.
All right, Jen.
come on.
I mean, I actually think it's across the board. You were saying that you think it's a situation for just young professionals, right? I think it's
Oh, no,
men,
no,
He's saying it's
women.
baristas.
Huh?
He's saying it's baristas.
No, I'm saying it's the income scale thing. Like
Yes,
people on
I
the
agree
lower
with
end,
Michael.
lower
Not
50%
Are leaving.
are leaving for better opportunities.
I think it's across the board. I think people are starting their own companies.
That's true.
I saw a lot of flexibility, and again, this is all skewed data. I have a very small population I'm sampling from here, right? But I think that I saw more employers matching the expectations of the employees. That could speak to the types of companies that they're working for more than know what's happening more on at a macro level. But I saw more like clients go to New Orleans because they always wanted to live there, and their employers
Yeah.
don't care. They got lucky with employers who and the types of jobs that allow that. They're like, yeah, go work wherever you want. We're not changing how much you make. Just do the work.
Jen, you mentioned that you're seeing this YOLO mindset taking hold, which I totally get. If ever you were to jump and go do something, why wouldn't it be now? But you're saying you're seeing it more particularly in women.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I think women are, everyone keeps talking about the great resignation. I'm seeing the great renewal of women play out.
Okay.
Women are getting offered really great positions. They're getting elevated at their current positions, and I think there's been a reassessment of, what do you want to do post COVID or post Omicron. I think
because there is no post. None of this will ever end. But okay.
Yeah. But
what do you want to do on the other side of the way things used to be, basically?
yeah,
I feel like is the way we have to start thinking
John,
about it.
can you throw up this chart
Yeah.
of business applications? So this has to explain some of the missing people.
This is crazy.
And this to me is like one of the most bullish charts
Yeah, it's awesome.
of the year. So we're looking at a chart of business applications, and as we all know, it spiked, like ridiculously spiked.
Mike, is this monthly?
This, yeah. And
So look at this 1 month where it hit 580,000 business applications in 1 month or one
this
quarter?
looks like twice what the normal was at least. And to Jen's point about it's not just people in the lower income scale. Like
It's
a lot
everybody.
of people that are starting businesses are like, hey, I worked at Qualcomm or whatever. Like
Yeah.
people that were engineers at Google that are like, I'm out of here.
I got people doing that, keeping their job, and also like
Doing it on the
doing
side.
the other thing in hopes of like making, obviously classic move, but now they're emboldened to do that.
Yeah.
I think that COVID for some reason has given people a sense of urgency. There goes your phone again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, that one was my mom.
Is that your mom?
Yeah.
I love it.
I hope she's staying positive, testing negative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, so do you think that wasn't there that story, maybe, I don't think it was in the Financial Times, but somebody had 2 jobs? Two remote jobs,
Yeah.
2 different employers.
Yeah.
That was the
find
headline
out.
story. There was like 1,000 people that did it though. It's like a tiny, I mean, people are doing it. It's not a lot of people.
Yeah, people are doing that.
Couldn't you picture it be like way more than 1,000 in real life?
Mhm.
Like how would anyone, I mean, you would know, I guess, if you really looked for it as an employer, but.
So the labor force participation rate chart on John, this labor force participation rate looks like it bottomed. JP Morgan showed that for households that earn between roughly $45,000 and $69,000, the typical family's checking account rose by more than half between January 2020 and the spring to above $3,000. Now, the personal savings rate recently fell below its pre-pandemic level, so it looks like people are starting to, the coffers are running dry a little bit and people are getting back to work.
So people are not able to just sit around and wait anymore. Now they have to work.
I think we're going to see more of that, right? I don't think we're far enough away from the faucet being turned off to really like have a good gauge of how people are going to be like coming back into the workforce. And I think there's a number of variables that are going to, give either employers more or less leverage when it comes to work from home come back. Right now, it doesn't look like they have
Employers
any
have no
leverage.
leverage, yeah.
In this moment, all leverage is gone. Anything you built up from over the summer as an employer, like it just out the window as far as being like, you should come back
But
to
if
the
people
office.
if people now have to earn
There
again,
it is. Right. If the, and you felt okay with that because you had money coming in, to your point. Yeah. If you have to do it, you're going to do it.
there's not going to be another round of direct payments, I don't think.
Now, is there a positive thing to say there where like, I am trying to be positive about this fog that's over us right now. And it's here. I can feel it. I feel it in this room. I feel it out there. I feel it at home. It sucks.
Oh, we're all going to die.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that far, but like I'm watching.
No, eventually.
Yeah, for sure. Zero-sum game. Watching my children's daycare situation literally blow up before my eyes right now. That's what's happening. It's
Wait,
just
tell me what's happening?
No,
They're
this
closing down the
parent's
daycare?
got it, that parent's got it,
Everyone-
exposure here,
everyone,
who's
yeah,
got,
yeah.
you're doing a
God.
matrix at home, the whole shebang again.
Jen's freaking out. Stop.
Yeah, I have to fly in 48 hours.
No, we're good. I made sure of that. But this is where we're going, just like on that.
Good idea. Now it's not
You'll
gonna
be
help
all
them.
right. You'll
All
be all
right.
right. Trust me. My wife's like, where are you going? What are you doing? I'm like, don't worry,
But
I'm with Jen.
there is an upside to this.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, good
And-
point.
and-
Getting through it,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Getting through it. And you come out of this where, look, if my best case scenario is this, spreads, it does its thing, people got to go to work. Look, eventually people are going to get back to work and push through this. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, over and over again. No, it's going to get through.
Well, no. So my point is, I don't think anyone's leaving work this time.
No.
Like,
No, you're going to work.
because now this is it. We're
Well,
set
the train
up.
was packed today, this morning. It was packed.
Yeah. So now we're set up. Like this is work now. It's variable.
It every time I try and push out a little further, if everyone's like, oh yeah, 6 months, give it 6 months. No, 12 to 18. Set your expectations. Yeah,
12 to 18 years we
decades.
should be through. All right. I want to pivot to biggest trends in asset management, brokerage, wealth. Doug, you gave us a lot on this.
Oh,
What do you see is going on here?
yeah.
What would you say are like the big things that are happening?
I'm drinking from the Kool-Aid, but it's this web. Yeah, it's constantly rebranding itself. But decentralization or decentralized finance or Web3 or whatever it's being called right now, that is not
He
stopping.
wrote Web 9.
Web 9. GM.
Jenn is covering Web 9 right now.
So right now you have, this is the best way to describe it. You have this sandbox and everyone's welcome in this sandbox to go build castles or whatever they want. Give it a try. Some people are going to come along and crush other people's sandcastles. Other people are going to build some pretty cool stuff in here. Almost 90% of it will be absolute garbage or won't work or, was a great idea and morph into something super cool. But that's the way to view Web3 and all of this metaverse stuff right now is everyone can build. The barrier to entry with the way technology has been built now from Web 2 has made more creators out there.
It's interoperable.
It's interoperable diamond hands.
Guys.
I mean,
you guys have all the
utility. Yeah, what's your utility?
Who do you guys have covering Web3 crypto stuff? Do you have a dedicated person yet? Because that's when I'll short it all.
Is it me now?
Not yet.
Nobody. Okay.
It's
coming though. You're gonna have to.
Yeah, and then
Definitely.
You know why? Because the people that are into this are more into this than anything on earth, and they're never gonna stop. And they have so much money.
Financial Times did an NFT documentary. It was a 25-minute NFT documentary. You want to know how I know that?
Because
I'm in it.
Yeah.
It goes Gary V.
It
goes Gary V. Doug Boneparth. That's the order of NFT knowledge in this video.
I spoke to a reporter from the FT about Top Shot in like March.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. So you're an expert as well.
You were like, I'm getting killed in this thing or something.
I lost my kids.
What did you say in the article? Do you remember? No, you didn't say anything that extreme, but I think you were like, "Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing," and they printed it.
I don't remember.
Oh my
Probably.
God.
By the way, I think that was more or less
it was like Michael Batnick, director of research for Host Wealth Management. He goes, "I don't know, this whole thing's a joke," or something like that. But I forget what you said, but I remember it being funny.
I think he said he uses leverage in this particular asset class.
Dude, Top Shot was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. How long did it go on for? 4 weeks? 6 weeks? I don't even know.
Less.
2 weeks.
It was all a blur. Dapper Labs has a deal with the NFL.
Yep.
So why won't that go the same way? What do you think they learned from that?
I think I'm like by no means an expert, but I think they just oversupplied on the market. They just kept too many drops. Because what happened was getting the email that a drop was coming up. It's like, all right, I'm in line for the lottery. I want a LeBron moment. And you could like legitimately win like $30,000 just waiting online.
Yeah.
And there was demand and they just crushed demand. They just poured supply. There was a new drop every other hour.
But that's why this is all sandbox play around type stuff. You can have legitimate brands. You had Adidas and Nike. You just had Adidas do their drop last week with Bored Apes. And there's a crazy story out of it. Some smart contract developer created a smart contract that created 150 other addresses to get around the 2 mint minimum. So this one guy minted like 330 Bored Ape Adidas, drops.
How do you know it was the guy?
Or girl. I use this interchangeably. He, him, her, all that. Either way, Josh, they are 600,000 fiat dollars wealthier. But someone broke it down. They had to spend like $100,000.
But here's the thing, and sorry if this is like very boomer energy or Xer energy. What happens when they want to sell what they just apparently stole? Who is the buyer once there's a new thing that comes along that's even cooler than that? Or do these things keep their cool perpetually?
They're called mops, all right?
What is it? All right, so a mop is what? A fund?
No, there's 2 types of fans. There's the geeks and the mops. The geeks will follow this and have an idea of what's going on, but they're really not kind of aware what the corporations or the, sociopaths are doing. That's the string pullers are the sociopaths taking advantage of this situation.
Yeah.
The mops are just the zealot fanboys and girls who like...
And there will be enough of them to buy these things when they're down?
You squeeze mops for liquid, right?
Oh my God.
Doug is in deep. I don't know about MOPS. I thought it was an acronym.
You don't know about MOPS?
Automated.
Decentralized mops.
None of this sounds like finance to me.
No, but I think it's worth saying it because
it sounds like high school.
You're not being boomer about it. You're pointing out an inherently not good thing that took place in this particular market. And it's okay to point that out. And I think what we really should be doing is looking at situations like this early on in a space that's legitimate and say, look, if it was regulated, I'm pretty sure the SEC wouldn't be so thrilled with the guy who created a smart contract to create all and do all this, tomfoolery. But if you take the approach that I'm observing or educating.
How do financial regulators regulate NFT drops?
And you don't.
Jen, what do you think? No chance.
Yeah.
What regulator has the bandwidth?
You create better you create better contracts and better auctioning and better systems to do this stuff.
But it sounds like the incentive is to not do that. It sounds like the incentive is to keep the loopholes open for the geniuses that are stealing from people.
I don't think these types of projects are the ones that we should be talking about, and I don't think the attention should be going to Adidas, doing a drop with Bored Apes. That's surface level stuff in this space, but it's capturing our attention.
There's real money involved, though.
Yeah, someone's going to get hurt when when you're experimenting with new stuff. You think like when they were building bombs, someone didn't get their hand blown off, but we have bombs.
The last time we talked about NFTs, like in depth, although there was a lot of activity, you told me that the market for this is so few people relative to the overall population.
The last time we spoke,
has that changed?
No, I don't know. It's tiny. How many wallets are on MetaMask?
Wait for Coinbase, and then that will open up the next leg of
Coinbase
users.
is now going to allow all the people that opened up these accounts to buy Bitcoin to start trading in NFTs.
The wait list is huge.
Yeah, there'll be smart contracts. It's step by step.
So if you're going to drop something, you want to drop it right around that time.
I think
because there are going to be people buying things just to buy them.
Of course. But again, we're giving our attention to that the flipper mentality.
Where should our attention be?
See who's really building stuff that has the ability to find its way into your everyday technology and everyday need to do proof of work. So, I mean, we can go to real boring stuff real fast, like title insurance, or if you're a luxury manufacturer of goods and you want to control and monetize your secondary market, if you're Chanel, if you're Louis Vuitton, there's applications here for decentralized blockchain technology and tokens to help you do that. And if you are Louis Vuitton or Chanel, what's your biggest asset? Your brand. So, showing a company like that, and these aren't small companies, how big's LV,
Oh yeah. Nike's all in.
Oh my
on
God.
this.
Hey guys, I can insure your entire secondary market of luxury goods, monetize it, and insure your brand. What's that worth to you? Yeah, I'll cut the check for $500 million to go build this.
Yeah, listen, I think if Louis finds out that they can sell digital versions of their handbags inside of a video game, and then the metaverse makes it so that you can take that bag out of that game and bring it into some other environment with you.
Exactly.
That's free money for them. They don't even have to pay a kid in a third world country to stitch it together.
It's not even that. Like, I buy the handbag, you get an authenticity card saying that this is real. You can forge that. You can't forge an NFT, right? So you got a digital token linking it to the physical good. It changes hands.
How will you fight all the girls off, though, is the question.
I don't know, man.
Once you have that
OpenSea has less than 2 million monthly active users.
That might as well be zero.
It's zero.
So here's the biggest challenge of all, and I got to get this point out there. It's that the user interface and user experience for a lot of this stuff is complete garbage. Complete garbage. When you think about,
it's too annoying.
I wanted Heather to buy it. She goes, hey, I really like this female empowerment project, and I want to buy one of these NFTs. I said, I will stand over your shoulder as you do it, but let's see if you can do it, which meant, open up a Gemini account, link her checking account to it. Wait. Yeah, I know you're laughing already. It gets worse. Move money, buy Ethereum, move Ethereum to her new MetaMask wallet, find the things she wants on OpenSea, and trust this system that she's never used in her entire life that just took, X amount of dollars into internet money was going to work. She does it and says none of my girlfriends would ever do that. So it's too early. And until it's an app on your phone that you use, like everything else, it's not going to get there. And it's going to get there. It's just not now.
Let me throw this at you.
My phone? Your phone at me?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Seussibles.
Yes.
Do we know? Jen, big Dr. Seuss fan?
Awesome.
Come on, you definitely are.
Is that an NFT?
Better. It's an NFT platform.
Wow.
And you could buy it for cash. You could buy NFTs with dollars.
Good.
All that fucking bullshit with MetaMask, wallet, forget it.
The exchange from
now
fiat to...
Now here's the problem. They did a drop 2 days ago. The Grinch
won?
These little pictures of the Grinch.
Oh, yeah. Who told you about this?
I forget, but they sold it out in seconds.
Yeah.
And now they're said very soon we'll develop a secondary market. Right now, if you bought one of these things, I hope you really love it.
Yeah.
Because there is not a way to trade it on the app.
So
but why can't that be the
it's adorable.
But that's
I don't hate it.
Oh, Dapper Labs.
I have it on my phone.
This is from Dapper Labs.
That's how I heard about it.
Yeah.
I was reading about. So it's totally cool because I love Dr. Seuss and I could picture little kids
getting happy.
Ask their parents, can I have $3,000 to buy?
Dude, you think they're spending less on Roblox? You think they're spending $10,000 on in-app purchases on their games?
No, I totally understand this. This is cool. They call them stickers.
I need one now.
Yeah. Michael is trembling that I knew about this before him. All right, fine. I totally get it.
Flip.
But I think you're right. Somebody has to. This platform looks very easy to use. That's probably why everything's sold out on it.
Yeah. Shameless
maybe
plug.
Disney will do this better.
I'm gonna do it better.
They're
with
doing
coffee.
it. They're doing it with Vive.
With what?
There's a company called Vive, VEVE.
Who's they? Oh,
Disney.
That's Marvel.
Yeah, I try,
Disney, like all this.
I try and like read between the lines when you see like payment companies like Square. I mean Block. You have a huge payment platform like that's already in crypto. Venmo's already there, and PayPal's already there. I almost feel like we're almost like one or two steps away from that seamless fiat to token conversion.
Do you think kids are asking their parents for NFTs for Christmas?
No,
some.
not. Yeah, I mean, it's
Like
so
the kids who know about it.
Kevin Rose did an NFT drop the last week where he created, was it 100? No, 1,000. I think he created 1,000 NFTs called Proof, which was their utility tokens that give access to his events, his podcast.
So that makes sense.
His
right?
Discord, because
Memberships.
he's deep in the community. He like can legitimately like generate alpha and help. So he started it at 5 ETH and it went down like a quarter of an ETH every 10 minutes or whatever. And he sold 1,000. The floor was 1 ETH. So he probably did like $5 million in sales. So that's what people are paying for, to your point, Doug. Things that have utility.
The rabbit
But
holes.
wait a minute. But then if you're him, now you have to. So this is the thing. I know a lot of rock bands were selling NFTs and rappers, and they confer certain rights on the buyer. And that's like, to me, that's like a modern fan club. I totally get it. But now you have to like do the thing that you said you would do.
Yes.
Nothing
Yes.
sucks more to me than collecting $5 million up front and then like, oh shit,
I gotta build it.
now these people own me.
No, he's not. He is not a grifter. Like he is going to. I
don't
believe
think-
that.
I
Yeah.
don't-
I know you're not convinced. I know you're not.
He's talking about the
accusing me.
feeling
saying
of that. Yeah, back up against the wall.
In my opinion, that would suck to feel like you just sold a piece of yourself and your time, and now forever. Hey man, I bought your thing.
Yeah.
When's the next?
Yeah.
When's the next fucking Zoom meeting?
Yeah.
When's the next thing?
Put real
Like,
capital behind this.
Totally. Anyway,
That sounds like a nightmare to me.
content creators are going to be doing that all over the place.
I agree with you, and I think it makes sense. All right, Jen, the biggest trend in asset management is still the move to ETFs.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about this conversation you had.
So I had a conversation with Ron Riddell, the president of Double Line, and he talked about how the biggest trend that's getting louder and louder is the move to ETFs.
For active funds,
Yeah.
like existing funds.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
what does the active ETF landscape beyond Cathie Wood even look like right now? Who is anyone big there? Like,
Well, it's thematic. It's not like stock pickers.
so okay, so
Yeah.
like Fidelity hasn't really done this with any of their big brands, or because I don't know of any active ETF managers beyond ARK that have raised enough money for people to be talking about it. But I could be wrong about that.
Well, Round Hill's Meta ETF got a lot of flows, or
But
Metaverse.
right, but to your point, that's a thematic.
It's a thematic. Right.
Right. So ETF buyers like thematic more so than they like the idea of somebody's just going to pick all these stocks.
What were the anti ETFs? Remember those?
Which ones?
Active, non-transparent ETFs that never took off.
That was a thing. That was a structure that they got the SEC to say yes to, where
That was a while ago.
they don't have to disclose their holdings in real time the way a mutual fund manager doesn't have to. So like a mutual fund can wait for the 13F before disclosing things 45 days after the quarter closes. The ETF has to disclose that day. And that's how there are a million stories about Cathie, because she's like the biggest active manager forced to say what she's doing.
Well, there's also a million stories because she says some wild shit.
100%. But
Well, hold on. Let me substantiate that. For example, she said over the weekend that she thinks that the ARK holdings, the Frontier stuff, is now deep value, which, okay, she might be right. But what she said, which is like really out there, is she said that she thinks that they can do 40% compound annual returns for the next 5 to 10 years. And I don't know any fund that's done that really like ever.
well, you just wait and see. When you guys write about her, people click.
Yeah.
Is that like right up
do.
there with Elon?
Yes.
Would you say?
Yes.
Elon and
Musk.
Cathie?
Yes. Elon and Cathie.
Okay.
No way Cathie comes close to like the amount of Elon conversation.
Well, he's doing even more out there shit than anyone.
Of course, that's why.
I love the idea that
Like paying $11 billion in taxes.
but I love the idea that
Him and
she's
me both.
that's her largest holding, and I feel like he definitely wants to take her into space. No, I really like something tells me that's a thing that could be. Wouldn't that be like a perfect 2022 headline? Like, come on, it's like one of his biggest shareholders. Like, why wouldn't he take her? Right? What? No?
Yeah, I love this world you're painting here.
Not to Mars, guys, but into orbit. Not to Mars. Did I say Mars?
Michael Strahan
Either
made
way.
a comment on one of his morning shows about how he would like to go up in space, and Jeff Bezos got a hold of.
And took him. Of
course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
For the record, I would like to go up in space. Jeff, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Anyone that wants, just shout it out.
We were watching the document, the SpaceX doc where they did send, that crew up for St. Jude's and all that. It was awesome to watch. And I turned and looked at my wife. I said, if either one of us was offered to go to space, we're going, right? And we
Really?
both said, absolutely.
But not separately. You'd have to go together.
Yeah, too much of a risk if we went together. No, we got to go separately.
Go separately.
Go separately. Yeah, can't run the risk of us both exploding in the atmosphere.
Okay, I don't think that there is a capsule created yet that has space for me. I require a lot of space.
It's gonna launch you out of a cannon.
It's not a thing that's ever gonna happen for me.
Extra boosters.
All right.